2006 Fleetwood Storm brown version. This is the Chevrolet, 74,000 miles. And just want to show you the, I guess the drivability of it, or they call it test drive. This is for sale at the price listed in the listing. And there is a problem. There is a common problem with the brake booster. And the brake booster is just when you pump your brakes, it tightens up. Well, that is shot in this one, so that it's basically all manual braking. So in high traffic areas, it does get kind of tiring, and but it does brake. So I'll go ahead and just brake right now and kind of show you it. So I am braking, and it's stopping. All right, side stop. There you go. As you pump on it, it doesn't tighten up, but it still has the hydraulics to stop the vehicle. It's just that I wouldn't say it's that tiring, but if you do a lot of stop and go traffic, it could add up over, like, let's say like an hour, 2 hours of just constant non-stop kind of thing. But it's not too bad on a freeway or long trips. But I still would replace it because you want to just lightly tap on the brake and have it stop the vehicle a lot easier. Alright, so that's it for now. I'll go ahead and pause this video and do other cuts of this and go from there, okay? I want to mention that the AC does blow cold, so that's good. What else we have here? The radio does work. I just turned it off, so put that going here. Put it on the tuner. There we go. Just a little bit of music. I can put it louder, but I guess I could do that. So it's a V8 engine. I say it gets about 8 to 10 miles to a gallon, depending how hard you are on the gas pedal. Pretty good acceleration. I'll go ahead and pound it. This is flooring it right now. And there you go. That's how much acceleration. Good enough, to get things going. But of course, I'm in a side road, so I don't want to go too fast. And then slow down a little bit with the brake. There we go. Back down to 40. Your side mirrors looking good. Your rear mirrors right there looking good. Right there. Shut up. Alright, that's good enough. Today I am dumping it. Just make sure that you can see the valves work. I know some people might care. I know some people don't. So let's go ahead and pull this. It comes out. And I'll go ahead and cut it, and then we'll do the rest. There we go. Stuff's coming out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and close the valve now. I know there's still trickles, but whatever. I usually want to keep the black tank well watered. You want to be generous with your water. You should still about 5 or 6 gallons after dumping anyway, just to, if any solids are left behind. Here's your gray tank. Put in that. And let's get some fresh stuff come out. So this should be just shower water. Should be clear still also. Alright, I'll go ahead and close the valve now. There's still some stuff coming out, but I think it's good enough. Alright, so it's shut down. It's pretty clean, pretty secure. And then I'll move on to the other parts of the RV. And since I just picked it, we were on the road, I figured I'd do a video from there instead of inside tour first. So we'll do outside, then we'll move in. Okay. So now we're gonna be filling the water tank here, and I usually fill it from this here. I mean, we can also fill it through seawater. You hooked up as full hookup, but I do it this way just because of the way it's I don't pressurize the tank. And there's the 40-gallon water tank right there. We're going to fill that to the top. You see that the water level's moving as it's filling up. There's the water pump. These valves should be closed. If you want to fill with the city there, then you have to open up this valve here in order for the city water to go through to the tank and fill the tank from the city. If these are both closed, then it'll pressurize the RV with just the city water. Okay, and then this is to dump the water tank. So if you need to flush that out, or you need to park it for long periods of time, and you want to dump the tank, then you open up that valve. And I'll show you that. Oh, the water pump's on, so it's gonna do that. But that's that, and I'll go ahead and turn that off. And that should shut off the dumping of that, and the water pump stops. Okay, cool. And then let's move on to the generator. Alright, you can start from inside. I'm going to start from outside. Usually I have this valve on, so if you're going to park for a long period of time, I would shut off this when it's on to burn off the fuel in the carburetor, so that will make it last longer. So I'll go ahead and start it now. I'm going to turn it off. So the generator runs pretty good. Now I'll show you the shoreline and I'll show the AC. And the inverter works too. So there's a microwave running through the generator. And if you want to run on batteries, you push that inverter button and it'll run on inverter. Okay. AC wise, refrigerator wise, it's pretty good for freezer. Now the refrigerator at the bottom, there's probably, I don't know if you want to call it an issue. But it may take a couple of days for it to cool down to the refrigerator temperature, okay? But I have seen it work better when it's on shoreline. So, and it might take a few days to reach that. So I don't know if it's just the nature of RV refrigerators and whatnot, okay? I don't know how this would work, but yeah, microwave does work. Let me give it 10 seconds maybe, and I'll start it. I'll cook time. Okay, well the generator just turned off because I shut the fuel valve. I'll plug it in and we'll run that in a little bit. TV is a DVD player, so that works too, but I need to plug that in now. So I'll be right back. Alright, we're back up to the water tank. So you see with that white hose on the right, and there's a little hose to the left. The right is where it airs out, and I usually fill it up to that line before I shut off the water. So we're about there, so just wanted to show you that. Water storage, there's a little bit of a thing here where I have to kind of use my finger to move this little bit out so that I can get it to lock. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to go to get the 30 amp plug, which is back here. This needs to be plugged in order for the generator to use power. And just remember, I had shut the fuel valve off because that's what I do to when I park it, so that fuel doesn't sit in the carburetor and then gums it up, and it makes the carburetor last longer that way. And so now that we're home, we don't have to use a generator. We're just going to use the fuel valve with the shoreline. And I'm going to pull it through here so that's nice and clean. And instead of pulling it through the door, so I'm going to do that. Okay. And then there you go, secure it. You don't want any, leaving this open could lead to any kind of critters getting in there, so we don't want that. And then we're just going to plug it into our 30 amp service. Now we move all the way up to here. Show you the microwave working. Turn on the AC too while I'm at it, so let's go and do that. Hot and cool. Pop on, and then we'll put cook time. Maybe give it 5 seconds. Start, and it's cooking. Okay, so we'll go ahead and stop that. Alright, good. Alright, so there's that. Water pump is on. This is the water pump, so we'll show you that in the scenario. Code and hot water. Now the hot water, you need to turn the water heater on, so I'll do that too in a little bit. And then we'll have sink water is working. Shower. There it is. And then the other side. Alright, cool. So the water pump kicks on. Okay. Alright, now for the water heater, we're gonna go ahead and switch that on. I'll show you it working on the outside. It's gonna light up a little bit, and you'll hear it there. You hear the flame right there, right here. See how it works? Alright. So that's where the inverter is, a 2.5 kilowatt inverter. It's located right next to the door here. The stairs does work too. I'll show you that. This is the entry step. When you turn it on, you turn it off, you close the door. Oops. It should close. You open it. It should come back on. You want to keep it stay on, just turn that on, and it'll stay on. Okay. So if you turn up, if you start driving, it'll automatically detect that and it'll retract. Propane tanks right there. About a quarter left. And then storage. This is where the sewer is. Storage right here. I will probably remove that if you work with it. Then of course there's the generator. I showed you earlier that it runs. And then the storage and water tank. Alright, and of course it's a little stuck here. So kind of lift this up a little bit and then just push it in. And it should close. There's your water. And then I'll show you the house batteries right here. They're 200 amp hour batteries. And then there's a solar charger controller, 13.3 volts, of 2 solar panels. They're coming off the top. Everything has upgraded LEDs. These are also LEDs too, so they're pretty bright. I've upgraded those. I'll probably have to show you the lights, but it's kind of daytime, so I don't know if it makes sense. Anyways, let's climb up the roof. Show you what's up. Alright, so as far as the roof goes, you probably need to maintain this regularly. It is rubberized, and there are certain devices, like right here where the antenna is, that you might want to remove and just seal it. Okay, there was a satellite dish here which I removed, and I just added a sealant over it and just caulked it, and that made it more secure. Okay, now there is some bubbling, so there is a little bit of water that kind of you got into it, or I'm not sure, or from past whatever. But as long as you seal it really well, the only leak that we have right here is the small drip from this guy, so I would probably remove this and just seal it. And here's the solar panels, 100 watt each, so 200 watts of charging. Less than a year old, and yeah, that's basically it for the roof. So I'll go ahead and pause it now. And all these, you'll notice like little cracks over time. You just gotta patch them up. Maybe something like that. This is where I'll probably patch up too. Probably not too bright here as a shadow. It's kind of start to lift a little bit, just from heat and expansion and whatever else. So here, so I'll probably patch that up too. And that's another one that you can patch up. So then they'll look like this once you patch it up with any kind of a marine seal or Dicor or whatever you call them, kind of thing. Lights, pretty much all the lights are upgraded to LEDs. These are all LEDs too. I think maybe there's some lights. Does this one work? There we go. There we go. That one, I'm not sure the issue is. Maybe it needs a new bulb, or sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not sure. But majority of it. Bathroom probably works sometimes doesn't too, but most of these do work. And that one needs you need to turn on this switch. Okay, and then table you gotta lift up. This turns into a bed. CO monitor and gas propane monitor. It might be the little wiring short depending on the vibration. It does work sometimes it doesn't, so it kind of affects other parts of it too. Okay. And this sometimes works depending on there's a short somewhere, I'm not sure. So anyway, sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't, depending on how it's shaking, I guess. outside fan. Let's see here if this doesn't work. Let's open it and you hit this switch. There we go. Turn that off. And then other than that, your closet. There it is. An inverter will be standby because it's plugged in, but once you unplug it, it will switch back to invert, and then you should still be able to run the microwave and plugs and whatever else. Plug here, plug down here in the dinette for your laptops. And stove wise, here it is. Now the stove doesn't click on, so you need a separate lighter to light it up. Go ahead and light one up for you. Top burner center. This is the one. Low, high. There you go. Okay. And then the oven needs a pilot light lit up too, but that works. That should make everything else work. And then yeah, your sink, your storage, everything else. Oh, and then I guess the hood. Lights. What else? You can plug your microwave there. And about that leak, there's a little bit of a drop here, so it comes out of here, I believe. And pretty much, there was a leak here, but after I took this unit off and patched it, I have not seen it leak since. And pretty much everywhere else is pretty clean on the roof as far as leaks go. And then I will probably be taking my inverter, but you might want to put a little inverter. There used to be a TV here and a coax cable, but since we're all streaming stuff now through the internet, you'll probably hotspot that. TV wise, yeah, let me show you the TV. So let's go ahead and hit that on. And then the DVD player should pop up and we'll play something. See, the DVD is there. If there's a DVD player, let me see. I think there's a movie in there already. Yeah, Tango, let's put that in there. There it is. Go and hit play. There it goes. Reading. And speaker. Okay, and then some storage from manuals, TV stuff here. There it is. It works. And then we have an external speaker here that we kind of attach because the TV speaker is not strong enough or loud enough. It just makes it easier to hear when we're driving and the kids can watch stuff. But it doesn't hook up to the speakers. So that's radio only. And there's a DVD player here that you can use. So I'm going to turn this off. There's a kill switch here. The auxiliary battery is permanently on. The switch is not working. The main battery can be let me think here. Oh yeah, the main battery is permanently on. Auxiliary battery you can switch on and off with the rocker switch. And if you have the radio on, it'll drain the battery, so don't have anything on there. And I think that's pretty much it. Alright, that's all I can think of. Hopefully that's helped you decide on whether or not to purchase this RV for your family's needs. And